we feel it's possible for us. The results that we have, our beliefs, and so on. It's in a box, let's call it, right? Our heart's calling, our vision, it's actually outside of this. So in order to make it work, we don't have to create it, right? Because everything in the quantum field, it's already created. We don't have to create. This is what the mind is fooling us to believe, that we have to create something. Not everything creation is done. Everything energy, it's already created, right? We just need to align vibrationally with this timeline, with this configuration of reality, what our heart is calling us. Because this is when we function from the ego, from the limitations, from because we formed this personality, this identity, who took us where we are today. And for me, for example, in all these steps, in all these stages, I created an identity. The first part, when I started with big events, right, with high energy and so on, I changed another identity from the very shy person and very emotional. I'm a speaker now, I'm a renowned public speaker. And I changed that identity at that point. This is how I did it very fast. I didn't know at that point. Now looking back, then I shifted the identity to the monk identity, which gave me such a completely experience of life, created a totally new, different reality. All of them were outside of my comfort zone. All of them were outside of the reality timeline that I chose. Now, when we want to choose a different configuration of reality, we need also to expand our identity in order to make it work, because it's not going to work linearly. That's the trick that our mind is fooling us. We have to push, to hustle, but this is the old paradigm where everything was much more or less fixed, very constant. Now, what we're being invited to is to quantum creation. This is how, and I believe the only way we're going to be able to actually fulfill our dreams, our heart's calling, right? Because our ego, our current identity, won't let us um, fulfill our heart's calling, because our ego was formed in order to protect us. And our heart's calling, our soul mission, usually, and I would say almost always, we have a wounding, we'll form the protection around our highest gifts. Can you relate to that? Our our greatest gifts are also where is our greatest wounding. Can you relate to that? Does it make sense? Beyond our greatest wounding or protection lies also our highest calling and highest gifts. So that's why we're not gonna, our ego, who is the protector, right, won't let us get there, because it loses its survival. It loses its uh, existence, right? If we do that. So the only way would be to actually make the quantum jump. So just because we have a lot to talk, I realize we're just at the first point, and we have so much more. We do just a very brief activation to connect with our heart's calling. So I invite you just for a few moments to just settle in. Take a deep breath in and relax the body. Come into presence. Connect with the body breathing. Let go of the past. Release the future. And just connect with the body, centering in the vertical tube and connecting with our heart. Breathe into the heart and let the body relax with each breath, calling in our energy home into the spine, into the heart, feeling protected by the earth, blessed by the sky. Having this bubble around us, expanding our consciousness and feeling safe in this space where our body, our nervous system can relax, where our heart can feel safe. Breathe into the heart and just let go of the external things and trying to solve anything. Just let your mind rest for a moment. There's nothing to do in this space because the more we connect with our heart, everything it's already there, everything that we're looking for. And we just can connect with this gratitude that we already have so much. Breathing into our hearts and be feeling the gratefulness for being alive, for these opportunities, for life, for all the gifts, for the connections we have. Let this vibration grow into your heart. Let it expand even more. And invite the energy of love into our hearts, opening the space like a flower that opens its petals, connecting and inviting the energy of universal love. And we want to amplify this. We're going to imagine a portal of energy, like a plasma, like a sphere. And when we're going to pass through this portal, through this stargate, we're going to increase the love that we experience 10 times. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, we step through the portal and amplify the energy of love. We're going to do a second time, and we're going to increase 50 times to the second portal. Inhale, and on the exhale, step. And the third one, we're going to increase 100 times. This feeling of deep love, joy, gratefulness. Inhale and stepping through. And just settle into this frequency. Let this vibration penetrate all your cells. Let it sink into your body. Just bathe into it and feel like you are complete, like nothing is missing. This energy is fitting us fully. There's nothing to do in this moment, nothing to achieve, nothing to prove. We are at home. And in this space, I will invite you to ask a few questions and just receive the answer intuitively without judgment, without filtering through the mind. If anything was possible, what would my heart do? What I'm being invited to express in this life? What is life inviting me to be, do, have? What brings me the most joy and feel called to express? What is the most aligned thing I would do from this space? And just receive through your imagination as a vision, as a symbol. What are you being called to do, express, live, embody? In the second part, we're gonna ask, who is this version of me, my higher self version of me, who is already living this vision? What is the level of energy, of love, of confidence, of power of this version of me who is already embodying this vision, this reality, this timeline? And just get a feeling of how it feels like. What beliefs does it have, this version of me? What did he or she need to let go of? And just step into this version of ourselves, our higher self identity, and let this anchor into our bodies. Let this frequency settle into our cells, into our nervous system. Take a deep breath in and relax. And just remember this frequency, who you already are, your higher self identity, which is calling you, which is inviting you to embody day to day. And we can slowly come back as our higher self. So, how was it? We did a very brief one, but did you feel the shift in energy? So this is the first shift and probably the most important one, because we don't have to create our vision. We need to embody our higher self, this version of ourselves who is already living our vision. And from this space, all the answers will come. We're not meant to figure it out with the mind. This is actually the fifth shift we're going to talk at the end, but just a preview, let's call it. All the steps are laid out for us. We just need to follow the guidance, how we will make it happen, how we will make the transition, put out the work, express, and so on. Right? Because in this space, which is our true identity, we are, our essence, beyond the distortions, right? Because our ego, it's a distorted version of who we truly are. So we need to come back to our higher self, to our essence, to who our authenticity, our unique vibration. And from this space, everything gets already done, right? Because in the quantum field, we know everything, all possibilities are already done all the time. So we need to align with it and then to embody, to bring that frequency into our cells, into our nervous system. So then it reflects, it manifests into the physical reality. So this is I wouldn't say the new way of doing things. It's always been this way. Only now, as humanity, we're becoming more and more aware of this way of creating. This is how it's done in the subtle and more advanced civilizations. So the second shift, it's kind of related to that. So in order to increase the value that we bring to serve others, um, it's activating our light codes and subtle gifts that we came here to bring to humanity, to the world, to express. And we are using such low uh, percentage of our possibility of our gifts, and it's related to because we contracted, because we're living disconnected from our soul family, from our soul lineage, from our soul group, because we took the identity of the limited human, we lost connection with so much. We are coming from a soul group, right? Like the God source, which is everything, splits into different spark or souls, or let's call it oversouls or soul groups. And from that soul group, we are a spark of that soul group, right? And that soul group or oversoul has so many gifts, talents, capacities, which is specific to that soul group. And we come with that as a star, right? When we are undistorted, but because with the ego, all the traumas and all the barriers that we put, all the masks and so on, protections, we are disconnected and we forget who we are, our essence, and we are disconnected from our gifts as well. So this is one more reason why it's important to return to who we truly are, to our true identity, because in doing that, we are accessing, we're remembering, because those gifts are already in our DNA, but are not activated. So the more we do this process, we are reclaiming our divine inheritance. And when we do that, we are coming back to our unique gifts. Because from here and trying to figure it out, how we do it, how we serve, who we serve, is going to be very difficult. It's not going to be aligned. We're going to struggle. When we do this, everything is so easy. It's so flowing, but it's not easy to do this, right? It's simple, but it's not easy because of the ego and all the baggages that we stored, right? So when we do this and we connect with our soul family, we realize we're never alone. We're so guided, we're so blessed, we are so supported with energy, with gifts, with everything. Like we have a whole team working for us nonstop, but we are disconnected from it because our ego wants to do it alone, right? I'm all alone in this life, I don't belong, and so on, right? Does anybody relate to that? It's a very common belief, especially for star seeds. I don't belong in this world. I don't. Nobody sees me. I'm not validated, recognized, and so on. So we withdraw, and we miss such a big opportunity in this lifetime because we have two missions. One is we are coming with gifts from our soul lineage to bring to humanity, but also we're bringing back to our soul family the lessons that we are learning here. Because in this 3D reality, it's such a, we are heroes actually for our soul lineage, because in this dimension, which is so gross, so dense, where is so much contrast and duality, there's a potential for so much growth, lessons to integrate that we're bringing back to our soul family. So when we, this is the second shift, right? Activating the light codes. The third one is clarifying who is our soul client, right? Who we are meant to serve in this lifetime. And it's very important because one of the biggest mistake that light workers, light beings do is that we want to serve everyone, right? And we say, I have this gift. I work with dragons. I do shamanic healing, whatever, which is amazing. But I noticed, like, I saw a post recently of a friend on Facebook. She was sharing, I have this gift. I do this. I do this. Who wants? I'm here. I'm available. And nothing. She's struggling financially because nobody is actually interested by our gifts. I know it's a hard thing to hear, and it contradicts what I shared before because it's uh, so unique and so valuable, our gifts, but nobody cares about it. So um, we have, for example, for me, when I built this big email list, I had totally different kinds of people. Like I have no idea who I was serving, who I was working with. I created a lot of programs in different niches, different types, and so on. But it was working. I had the diversity of people. I couldn't charge very much. But because I had a big community, I would just send a few emails and I would have a few sales, and it was working. So do we need to niche? Well, it depends. Like if you have a big community and different interests, you can. You don't need to niche and you can offer different things, but you cannot offer at high prices. You need, first of all, you need a big community and you need lower prices. Because, for example, a time management program, you can find it on Udemy for, I don't know, $10, 20. But if it's a time management for managers, it's maybe 100. If it's time managers for managers in whatever industry, in Horeca, whatever, it's 1,000. Or the more specific it gets, if you're serving a very specific person with the specificities of that category, the price is much more than that. And not only that, because this is what I felt called to do, because we are here to serve people. We're not only just to share gifts and who's interested. I was there and it was working, and I was for that period was good. Like I liked to create programs, to share my wisdom and so on. But now it's a totally different thing to really support people in their transformation, to be there side by side. And I feel this is the future in this industry, to become guides and to create a transformation, a temple of transformation, I call it, where we create a container where people can um, make the shifts. It's all about transformation. It's not about anymore about information. We have ChatGPT, we have coaching, regular coaching. It's crumbling, I believe. So there will be so many changes in this industry. So the greatest thing that we can value, we can bring, is to create what I call the transformation temples, right? Where we become actually the guides who have walked this path and helping the others do as well, like guides, not as, oh, I have this gift or whatever. right? It's not going to be so valuable. We're going to talk about in a moment what value means, which is very important in order to be rewarded, because we're being rewarded in this 3D reality. We are rewarded for the value that we bring, not for our intrinsic value, which is divine, which is infinite, which is unlimited, but the value that we bring into this reality. And that means solving problems to the people, right? It's a formula for value. It has 4 terms. Let's see if we have time to speak about that also. So our soul aligned clients are the ones who are already assigned to us through we have a soul contract when we came into this life to serve certain people. So, but only when we step into our higher self identity, they will be able to see us, to recognize us. Otherwise, if we're like this, they won't see us. It's impossible.